Hello and a very warm welcome to today's session brought to you by Testbook Supercoaching. I hope all of you are doing really well. देरी नहीं करते हुए फटाफट से आज के सेशन को स्टार्ट करते हैं. आई होप अभी तक हम लोगों ने जो कल और आज दैट मींस 30th and 31st जनवरी को हम लोग जो टोटली क्यूमुलेटिव 99 क्वेश्चंस को देख रहे हैं. आई होप आप लोगों ने कल वाले सारे के सारे क्वेश्चंस को अच्छी तरह से रिव्यू कर लिया होगा. कल हम लोगों ने कौन कौन से क्वेश्चंस किए थे? कल हम लोगों ने क्वेश्चंस 1 to 40 करे थे आपके YouTube की क्लास के अंदर एंड क्लास क्वेश्चंस 41 ऑल द वे टिल 55 जो क्वेश्चंस थे वो हम लोगों ने कल की मास्टर क्लास में करे थे, राइट. और आज की मास्टर क्लास में हम लोगों ने क्या किया था? आज की मास्टर क्लास में हम लोगों ने क्वेश्चन नंबर 56 से लेके अप्रोक्सीमेटली आई थिंक द लास्ट क्वेश्चन दैट आई लेफ्ट यू ऑन वाज क्वेश्चन 65 तक तो हम लोगों ने कर ही लिया था, राइट. उसके बाद जो आपके क्वेश्चंस हैं उनको अभी हम जल्दी से देखेंगे, राइट. इससे पहले वाले जो क्वेश्चंस हैं, आई होप गुड इवनिंग देवशीष, कुमारी, रानी, साहिल, फ्यूचर ड्रीम्स, गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी, गुड इवनिंग. तो आई होप आप लोगों ने अच्छी तरह से उन सारे के सारे क्वेश्चंस को रिव्यू कर लिया होगा एंड यू गोना बी रिवाइजिंग ऑल ऑफ दोस क्वेश्चंस एज वेल, ठीक है. अभी हम लोग वहीं से स्टार्ट करेंगे. टोटल लाइक आई सेड हम दोनों आपके 30th and 31st जनवरी को वी आर ट्राइंग टू मेक श्योर दैट यू टेक अ लुक एट 100 आइस ब्रेकर क्वेश्चंस ओवरऑल. अच्छा, एक और चीज है, अभी आपका जो फरवरी का मास्टर क्लास का स्केड्यूल है, आई विल बी शेयरिंग दैट विद ऑल ऑफ यू. I will be releasing your February 2024 masterclass ka schedule, and now we are literally swiftly moving towards good evening. Yes, Sahil, GATE ke questions. So a lot of questions that we are practicing right now also, and GATE ka special focus next week se rahega. We'll be specially looking at GATE questions. Rather, we'll also have a few back-to-back marathons for all of you for GATE exam. तो उसका हम लोग definitely देखेंगे. तो फेब का मास्टर क्लास का स्केड्यूल आई बी शेयरिंग इट विद ऑल ऑफ यू एज वेल एज आपका जो बाकी एग्जाम्स आ रहे हैं, जैसे आपका एचपी सेट एग्जाम हो गया या अन्य एग्जाम्स हो गए, उसकी भी प्रिपरेशन विल बी लुकिंग एट, ठीक है. चलिए, तो देरी नहीं करते हुए फटाफट से लेट्स जस्ट वेरी क्विकली पुश द the so-called accelerator and let's quickly get started. jaldi se let's just move into your quick discussion and your quick look at the questions. हमारा first question ये रहा, आपका आ रहा है एंड आई होप आप लोगों को ये चीज समझ में, बाइफिकेशन समझ में ठीक तरह से आ गया होगा. बाकी मास्टर क्लास हो या नॉर्मल रेगुलर क्लास हो, आपको टेलीग्राम के ऊपर लिंक्स मिल जाएंगे, राइट. लिंक्स टू ज्वाइन अब काफी एक्टिवली एक्टिवेटेड रहेगा टेलीग्राम प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे, क्योंकि आपकी क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस, रैपिड रिविजन जो हम करेंगे, क्वेश्चंस प्रॉपरली प्रैक्टिस करना, प्रेपरेशन के लिए क्या सपोर्ट और वीडियोस चाहिए, वो सारी चीजें हम लोग कॉन्स्टेंटली इस पे डिस्कस करेंगे. गुड इवनिंग सारा. ये आपका लीडर बोर्ड है, राइट. दिस वाज द लीडर बोर्ड फ्रॉम टुडेज मास्टर क्लास. आई वाज रियली इम्प्रेस्ड. वेरी गुड जॉब डन गुंजन. 8 क्वेश्चंस वर करेक्ट. देवाश्री, और बाय द वे एक क्वेश्चन का पोल रॉन्ग था, राइट. एक क्वेश्चन का पोल रॉन्ग था. देवाश्री, जो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन याद है जो पोल रन नहीं हुआ था? पूजा, आयुषी, पॉल, के गायत्री, कस्तूरी खातून, संचारी सरकार, ईशा, शिल्पा कुमारी, याशिका वाजपेयी. Many congratulations to everybody. Like I always say, the people on the leaderboard should definitely crack a JRF, right? Like I always say that people on the leaderboard should always get a JRF, right? And बाकी जो leaderboard पे नहीं है उनका net तो obviously 200% होना चाहिए, okay? चलिए, देरी नहीं करते हुए फटाफट से आज के सेशन को स्टार्ट करते हैं. Let's very quickly move on to the questions that we have. यहाँ से we had left किया. So 66 questions तक हम लोगों ने आपके मास्टर क्लास में कर लिया था अभी वाली. So 56 questions से लेके 66 questions तक आपके questions पूरे हो चुके हैं. Now starting with 67th question, which of the following is not correctly matched? Which of the following is not correctly matched? इनमें से कौन सा ऐसा आपका एग्जाम्पल है which is not correctly matched? Which is not correctly matched? कौन सा is not correctly matched? कौन सा is not correctly matched? Which is not correctly matched? Which is not correctly matched? जोजाया बाउंडरबी हार्ड टाइम्स में आ रहे हैं. जोजाया बाउंडरबी कहाँ पर आ रहे हैं? जोसिया बाउंडरबी, अगर आपको नहीं भी बाकी सब पता थे, फैगिन नहीं पता, वैसे फैगिन आपको पता होना चाहिए, सर्गिन बसफास भी आपको पता होना चाहिए, पिकविक पेपर्स, जॉन चेस्टर, चलो अगर बार्नबी रच में आप भूल भी गए, बट ये फैगिन तो डेफिनेटली आपको पता होना चाहिए। जोसिया बाउंडरबी डेविड कॉपरफील्ड में नहीं है, हार्ड टाइम्स के अंदर है। हार्ड टाइम्स किसको क्रिटिसाइज कर रहा है? हार्ड टाइम्स यूटिलिटेरियंस, पूरा का पूरा जो आपका यूटिलिटेरियन थ्योरी है उसको एक तरह से अटैक कर रहा है। कैसे 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड है, ये चीज भी आपको अच्छी तरह से पता होनी चाहिए। यू शुड ऑल्सो रिमेंबर द कैरेक्टर सिसी जूब कैसे इज अ कैरेक्टर हु इज लिविंग विद द सर्कस कम्युनिटी एंड शी एक्चुअली बिकम्स वन ऑफ द बेस्ट पीपल ओवरऑल, ये चीज आप देख पाते हैं। क्रिश्चियन इज अ कैरेक्टर, क्रिश्चियन इज अ कैरेक्टर, क्रिश्चियन कहां पर कैरेक्टर है? वेयर इज क्रिश्चियन अ कैरेक्टर? वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन, वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन। और याद है यही क्वेश्चन हम लोगों ने जब करा था तो एवरी मैन के अंदर क्रिश्चियन वाज नॉट देयर, एवरी मैन के अंदर क्रिश्चियन वाज नॉट देयर। द कैरेक्टर ऑफ क्रिश्चियन, या भी हम लोगों ने क्वेश्चन इसी हफ्ते किया था, क्रिश्चियन नहीं था, लेकिन क्रिश्चियन कहां पर आ रहा है? वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट राइटर, यस एब्सोल्युटली राइट, बनियंस पिलग्रिम्स प्रोग्रेस, राइट, जॉन बनियन का पिलग्रिम्स प्रोग्रेस, क्रिश्चियन की जर्नी फ्रॉम सिटी ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन टू सिटी ऑफ गॉड ऑल टुगेदर, 2 पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड। ग्रेस द बाउंडिंग भी एक अदर इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क है बनियन का। प्लीज एटलीस्ट अपनी ऑक्सफोर्ड कंपेनियन से जॉन बनियन के इस वर्क को आप पक्का कर लीजिएगा। ओके, सो डू रिमेंबर इट इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी द अर्लीस्ट एग्जांपल ऑफ नॉवेल इन इंग्लिश ऑल टुगेदर। ठीक है, क्रिश्चियन की जो जर्नी है फ्रॉम द सिटी ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन टू द सेलेस्टियल सिटी, दैट इज व्हाट यू आर एबल टू सी। मूनस्टोन इज अ नॉवेल बाय, हु इज द राइटर राइटिंग मूनस्टोन? मूनस्टोन कौन लिख रहा है? हु इज द राइटर हु इज राइटिंग मूनस्टोन? मूनस्टोन कौन लिख रहा है? The other writer who along with Charles Dickens was actually a very successful person. Sorry, who's writing Moonstone? Who's writing Moonstone? Moonstone is a novel written by Moonstone is a novel written by William Wilkie Collins, right? William Wilkie Collins is writing Moonstone. Edgar Allan Poe, हम लोग काफी सारे questions कर भी चुके हैं Poe के ऊपर. So when we are talking about, it's written in epistolary format altogether. Dickens का magazine, remember household works and all year round. ये दोनों के दोनों questions भी हम लोगों ने करे हैं. John Foster ने बताया था about John Foster was the person telling us about his biography altogether. और plot क्या है? There is a theft of the precious diamond from the Indian shrine, and this detective Sergeant Cuff is the detective. He solves the mystery of the stolen diamond with the help of the house steward Gabriel Betteredge. ये सारे characters आपको पता होनी चाहिए. Sergeant Cuff का character कैसे he's trying to make sure that the mystery of the stolen important diamond is actually figured out. Moonstone, right? Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. Which of these is set in the boarding school called Halisham? Boarding school called Halisham. Boarding school called Halisham. Which is set in the boarding school called Halisham. Halisham. Kathy की story है, how Kathy has this friendship all together, right? And the organ donor का भी है. Good evening Fatima, good evening बच्चे. What is the correct answer? Absolutely right. Ishiguro is the correct answer. So when we are looking at all of these are works by him only. So Never Let Me Go. Never Let Me Go. This is set in the boarding school called Halisham, telling you the story of Kathy Edge and her friendship with Ruth, Tommy, who like Kathy and are raised to be organ donors altogether. So Kazu Ishiguruka, Never Let Me Go. That is where you're able to see Halisham is coming. Epic theater is associated with, epic theater is associated with what? Epic theater, this is also an anti-realistic format, आपका avant-garde format है. So when we are talking about epic theater gets associated with what? Epic theater is associated with what? What are you able to see epic theater is getting associated with? Epic theater is associated with Brecht. Epic theater किससे associated है? Bertolt Brecht से associated है. So when we talk about epic theater, this is a type of political drama completely against your your realistic drama that you are able to see. So please remember, German playwright is writing about this. Who wrote the House of Spirits? Who was writing the House of Spirits? House of Spirits किसने लिखा है? Who's the writer writing the House of Spirits? Who's the writer who's writing the House of Spirits? The House of Spirits is written by The House of Spirits. This is a Chilean writer, a very famous Chilean writer. Who's writing The House of Spirits? Who's writing The House of Spirits? Who's writing The House of Spirits? No, 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 no. Berg is nahi. House of Spirits कौन लिख रहा है? Who's writing The House of Spirits? Please don't go wrong with these kind of questions. यहाँ पे काफी सारे simple questions हो जाते हैं एक तरह से, right? And House of Spirits आपका movie भी based है. Isabel Allende is the right answer. I see a lot of you writing Borgs. I don't know why. ये please इसको note down कर लीजिएगा. House of Spirit is by Isabel Allende, right? House of Spirits is by Isabel Allende, Chilean writer Isabel Allende. Isabel Allende लिख रहे हैं Family Saga, telling you about 4 generations of women presence, the Chilean politics that you are able to see from a feminist point of view. From a feminist point of view, trying to tell you the stories overall. Isabel Allende, okay? John Dryden celebrates what in Annus Mirabilis? In Annus Mirabilis, what is he celebrating? In Annus Mirabilis, what is Dryden celebrating? Annus Mirabilis में ड्राइडन क्या सेलिब्रेट कर रहा है? It is famously called, remember, as what? What are you able to see? Year of Miracles. Year of Miracles. So Year of Miracles आपका आ रहा है 1666. Britain won the Second Dutch War, the fire in London, right? So your so-called plague, fire, Dutch defeat, PFT करके भी इसको याद हम लोग करवाते हैं, right? Annus Mirabilis. Peribathos, very simple. Peribathos is an essay by Peribathos, or the art of sinking in poetry. The art of sinking in poetry. Remember Peribathos, or the art of sinking in poetry, or the art of sinking in poetry, or the art of sinking, or the art of sinking in poetry. Who's the one who's writing this? Alexander Pope. Absolutely right. Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope. Peribathos, or the art of sinking in poetry. Anticlimactic effect hota hai, right? Like suddenly he got mortal wound because of a because of maybe a voice of insult or a phrase of insult, तो anticlimactic ending हो जाती है. Jane Austen dedicated Emma to. Jane Austen dedicated Emma to whom? Jane Austen dedicated Emma to. Jane Austen dedicated Emma to. Emma was dedicated by Jane Austen to whom? Jane Austen was dedicating Emma to which particular person that we were talking about? Who is the person who gets, who's the one to whom we are able to see that Jane Austen is dedicating Emma to? Let's quickly see how many of you are able to get this right. How many of you are able to get this right? Prince Regent, right? Prince Regent is the right answer. So Emma का जो है, it is dedicated to Prince Regent. ये जो first cover pages होते हैं, prefaces होते हैं, जैसे आपका याद है कल हम लोगों ने क्या करा था? विलियम पॉलिडरी क्या कर रहे हैं? कंपटीशन जो चल रहा है उससे आपका वैम्पायर आ रहा है, the story that is inspiring Bram Stoker's Dracula also, and then आपका when we are talking about Frankenstein or the modern Prometheus, there the preface is coming from P.B. Shelley. तो ये सारी चीजें आपको थोड़ी बहुत ध्यान में रखनी है. You'll have to remember these, okay? Which of the following novels by William Makepeace Thackeray has the following as the closing lines? Which of us is happy in this world? Which of us has the desire or having it is satisfied? We talked about this in in so-called this week's masterclass. So इसमें ज़्यादा time नहीं लगना चाहिए आपको. Thackeray का Vanity Fair, novel without a hero. Remember we had looked at it. Very good, very good. Vanity Fair इसमें ज़्यादा time नहीं लगाएंगे. Novel without a hero. कौन-कौन characters हैं? Becky Sharp and Amelia. What is this called? This is called by Coventry Patmore, right? Coventry Patmore इसको क्या कहता है? Coventry Patmore इसको बोलता है Angel in the House, right? Angel in the House, Angel Witch Dichotomy, Angel in the House. आज हम लोगों ने जैसे आर्थर मिलर का Crucible, telling you about Salem witch trials, या हम लोगों ने French Lieutenant Woman by John Fowles, multiple endings, Sarah Woodruff का जो character है. So make parallels, that is something which is very important, and these are all closing lines that you are able to see. Which novel of Thomas Hardy begins with somber description of the Edgren Heath? The somber description of the Edgren Heath begins with the somber description of the Edgren Heath. Begins with the somber description of Edgren Heath. Which one are we talking about? Which one are we talking about? Which is the work that is starting with the somber description of Edgren Heath? This is which work are we talking about? Which work are we talking about? The Return of the Native. गुड इवनिंग सोनाली बच्चे, गुड इवनिंग। द रिटर्न ऑफ द नेटिव, राइट? कौन सा वर्क है? द रिटर्न ऑफ द नेटिव, राइट? सॉम्बर डिस्क्रिप्शन है आपका ऑफ एगन हीथ दैट यू आर एबल टू सी। ओके, सो प्लीज रिमेंबर दैट, प्लीज कीप दैट इन माइंड। ऑलराइट, which of the following was published in 1859? 1859 में publish है। which work is published in 1859? 1859 में publish है। which work is published in 1859? Which work are we able to see is getting published in 1859? आप थोड़ा सा अपना वो भी लगाइए कि कौन से दो वर्क्स आपके 1859 में नहीं होंगे। ठीक है, एलिस इन द वंडरलैंड आपको लग रहा है कि 1859 में होगा, कब आ रहा है वो? What is the correct answer over here? What is the correct answer over here? So what are we able to see on the Origin of Species by Darwin and Tale of Two Cities? So that is coming in 1859. Okay, so please keep that in mind. ये इस तरह के questions तो आजकल बहुत common हो गए हैं। They're very common these days. George Eliot's novel Felix Holt is set against the backdrop of which historical political events? Felix Holt. Felix Holt. Felix Holt. Felix Holt is set against the backdrop of which? Yes, quickly tell us. Quickly tell us. What is the correct answer? What is the correct answer? What is the correct answer? Felix Holt the radical. What is the correct answer? The first reform bill. आप देख लो कितने सारे questions आपके फर्स्ट रिफॉर्म बिल से डील कर रहे थे। कल हम लोगों ने कहा था फर्स्ट रिफॉर्म बिल किससे डील कर रहा है या रिफॉर्म बिल्स किससे डील कर रहे हैं? The reform bills are dealing with male suffrage. What are the reform bills dealing with? Male suffrage, that is male getting voting rights in the 19th century. That is what we are able to see. So again, have to keep this in mind. Felix Holt the Radical. Felix Holt the Radical. This is a social novel that is coming dealing with the first reform bill. जो आपका first reform bill आ रहा है. Story is telling you about Harold Transome. Harold Transome जो है, he is this local landowner in the radical cause against his own family. Family इनकी Tories है. Tories are conservatives. Tories are the royal supporters. TR, right? So how you have the character of Harold Transome, how we are having the character of Harold Transome, and this character is at loggerheads with his family, right? This character is in loggerheads with his family that you are able to see. So ये चीज आपको याद रखनी पड़ेगी. You will have to keep that in mind altogether. Okay. Moving on now very quickly to the next set of questions that we are having. जल्दी से आपके next set of questions को देखते हैं. What is the name of the mill in George Eliot's The Mill on the Floss? What is the name of the mill in George Eliot's The Mill on the Floss? So when we are talking about, the name of the mill, what is the name of the mill that we are able to see? What is the name of the mill in George Eliot's The Mill on the Floss? So George Eliot is also another important writer that comes in your exam. So what is the correct answer over here that we are able to see? Jaldi se bataiye. What becomes the correct answer here? What becomes the correct answer here? Absolutely right. Absolutely right. That is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. It's the Dorlcote Mill. It's the Dorlcote Mill, right? Mill on the Floss में आपका Felix Holt the Radical, Dolls आपका the Dorlcote Mill that's coming in Mill on the Floss. आपका how you are able to see Tom and Maggie Tulliver. The Dorlcote Mill is the mill on the river Floss that we are able to see. How we are able to see that Maggie actually passes away. So again, unconventional endings, Maggie's encounter with the gypsies altogether, how she's radical overall. Who's the author of the essay Occasional Discourse on the Negro Question? Occasional Discourse on the Negro Questions. Occasional Discourse on the Negro Question किसने लिखा है? Who's the writer writing Occasional Discourse on the Negro Questions? Occasional Discourse on the Negro Question किसने लिखा है? Occasional Discourse on the Negro Question. Occasional Discourse on the Negro Question. Who's the one who's writing this particular work? Who's the writer writing this particular work? Very good, very good. This is Thomas Carlyle. ठीक है? This is Thomas Carlyle. ये जो essay है, it was published in Fraser's magazine, right? And please remember Carlyle's argument to reintroduce slavery in the West Indies altogether. He was just trying to say that I understand, but this is required. Slave trade shouldn't have been banned. A lot of people were actually getting benefited. तो completely different account altogether. इसको आप नॉन फिक्शनल प्रोज राइटिंग्स के नोट्स में ऐड कर लीजिएगा. Thomas Carlyle wrote a biography of his colleague friend. Who is the colleague friend that we are talking about? He wrote a biography of the colleague friend. Who's the colleague friend that we are talking about? He's writing a biography of a colleague friend. The life of John Sterling. The life of John Sterling. Very good, Shilpa. Very nice, Shilpa. Good, good, good. Life of John Sterling. Very nice. Very good. Okay, and good others also. So, Life of John Sterling जो है, this is a biography, right, of the Scottish author John Sterling, written by the Scottish historian that is Thomas Carlyle. And ये आपका publish हो रहा था. Carlyle as well as Hare were appointed as the joint literary executors of Stirling's works altogether, and that is how he had written about it. Obviously, because you've been made to write, research and you're writing about it. John Ruskin's essay, The Seven Lamps of Architecture, includes his principles of architecture. Right? Includes his principles of architecture. What is the correct answer here? The Seven Lamps of Architecture. Seven Lamps of Architecture, 8 chapters में है. And what are we able to see? What are we able to see? What is the correct answer here? What is the correct answer here? Yes, absolutely right. Power, truth, and memory. Power, truth, and memory is the right answer. So, 7 lamps of architecture. What are we able to look at? यहाँ पर आपका with 8 chapters, introduction is there, right? And the 7 lamps. Which represent the demands that good architecture must meet. That is what you're able to see. Sacrifice, truth, memory, obedience, power, memory, beauty, life. All of these are coming in. Who was addressed in John Ruskin's pamphlets Fors Clavigera? Clavigera. Which work are we talking about here? Which work are we talking about? Who's addressed in Fors Clavigera? Who's addressed over here? Who's addressed over here? Who's addressed over here? Who's addressed over here? The British workman. ठीक है, the British workman, the British workman. Force Clavigera जो आपका आ रहा है जॉन रस्किन का series of letters that are addressed to British workmen altogether during 1870s. It was published in the form of pamphlets altogether that were coming in. ठीक है, so please remember variety of topics were there, and of course Ruskin is known for unto this last, which even inspired Mahatma Gandhi. Culture is the best which has been thought and said. Culture is the best that has been thought and said. Culture is the best that has been thought and said. Culture is the best that has been thought and said. What is the correct answer? Culture is the best that has been thought and said. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Culture and anarchy. Culture and anarchy. Culture and anarchy. In the context of loss of faith, culture can be upheld by literature and poetry. ठीक है, so ये चीज आपको पता चलता है. In Thomas Carlyle's On Heroes and Hero Worship, the Heroic in the History, which of the following historical characters are discussed? Who are being discussed? Which of the following historical characters are actually discussed? हम कौन से historical characters को discuss करते हैं in Thomas Carlyle's On Heroes and Hero Worship, and of course the Heroic in History? What is the correct answer over here? जल्दी से बताइए, what becomes the correct answer that you are able to see? What becomes the correct answer that you are able to look at? All right. What becomes the correct answer over here? Yes, A is absolutely the right answer. Right. So Martin Luther, Muhammad, Napoleon. This is true. Samuel Johnson, Cromwell, Rousseau. So Again, what are we able to see? Please इसको याद रखिएगा. He's of course talking about your heroes, right? Your all of these people that you're able, Johnson, Rousseau, Robert Burns, Knox, Martin Luther, they're all there. He's trying to tell you about different. This is just like, telling you about different styles of leadership, how you can actually be a leader, how different people have got a different way of ruling and leading. Great men should rule and others should revere them, right? How they create a cult altogether. That is what you're able to see. Okay, how they are creating a cult altogether. Okay, this we have already discussed the lives of here. Moving on, yes. Quickly, please go on to the next question that we have for all of you. जल्दी से बताइए what is the correct answer that you are able to see. जल्दी से बताइए what is the correct answer. The 19th century art critic John Ruskin has more precise gift of observation as revealed in his description of alpine mountains and of humblest flowers or mosses. What mode of non-fictional writing does it suggest for John Ruskin? What mode of non-fictional writings does it suggest for John Ruskin? What mode of writings? Descriptive writings. ठीक है, ये आपका थोड़ा सा जब हम लोगों ने इंट्रोड्यूस भी किया था forms, we had talked about that. Okay, which of the following works of Geoffrey Chaucer was written during author's French period? ऑथर के फ्रेंच पीरियड में लिखा गया था. ऑथर के फ्रेंच पीरियड में लिखा गया था. व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर ओवर हियर? ऑथर के फ्रेंच पीरियड में कौन सा वर्क लिखा गया था? बुक ऑफ डचेस. वेरी गुड दीक्षा, वेरी नाइस, एब्सोल्युटली राइट. फ्रेंच पीरियड में बुक ऑफ डचेस आपका आ रहा है, राइट? बुक ऑफ डचेस किस पे लिखा हुआ है? इट इज कमेमोरेटिंग द डेथ ऑफ ब्लैंच, राइट, वाइफ ऑफ जॉन ऑफ गॉन्ट, दैट यू आर एबल टू सी. सो ये भी प्लीज याद रखिएगा. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज एन अनफिनिश्ड स्टोरी इन द कैंटरबरी टेल्स? Which of the following is unfinished in the Canterbury Tales? Which of them is unfinished in the Canterbury Tales? कौन सी unfinished है in the Canterbury Tales? Cook's Tale is unfinished. Okay, Cook's Tale is unfinished over here. Cook narrates the story of this young man called Perkin who enjoys participating in gambling, hedonism. His tale, however, trails off in the middle like the Squire and Tale of Sir Thopius. Okay, so this is not completed. Match list 1 with list 2. Match list 1 with list 2. Match list 1 with list 2. जल्दी से match the first list with the second list all together. जल्दी से मैच कीजिए एंड क्विकली टेल अस व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर. यहाँ पर अगर आपका एक भी सही हो गया है, सी फॉर इंस्टेंस विलियम लैंगलैंड, पाइस द प्लाउमैन. पाइस द प्लाउमैन नहीं है, पाइस द प्लाउमैन नहीं है, नहीं है, और ऐसे ही आता है आपका, राइट? इसी तरह से आपका पूछा जाता है. सो यू डोंट इवन हैव टू गो फर्दर, राइट? जॉन गावर, कन्फेसियो मैंटिस इज देयर. जॉन गावर इज राइटिंग कन्फेसियो मैंटिस. That is also coming over here that you are able to see, right? Aapka, when we are looking at, Thomas Occleve, the Regiment of Princess, right? Thomas Occleve is writing the Regiment of Princess. So this is C is 2, and John Lidkett is writing Siege of Thebes, right? तो ये please इसको याद रखिएगा. Pius the Plowman by William Langland. Gower is writing Confessio Mantis. Thomas Occleve is writing The Regiment of Princes or Regimen Principum, and of course Siege of Thebes is by John Lidkett. Okay, so please remember that. The narrator of the poem Pius the Plowman is whom? Who is the narrator of the poem Pius the Plowman? आप जो भी बुक फॉलो कर रहे हैं, जैसे विलियम जे लॉन्ग है, एडवर्ड एल्बर्ट है, आपका कोई भी बुक है, उसके आगे भी आप ये क्वेश्चंस को ऐड कर सकते हैं, राइट? व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर ओवर हियर? व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर ओवर हियर? जल्दी बताइए. यस, एब्सोल्युटली राइट. Will is absolutely the correct answer. Pius the Plowman introduces the narrator Will. Will is there, right? He is setting out to travel the world dressed as the shepherd, right? He sees 8 visions altogether, and clearly the poem is an example of Christian allegory. Which of the following is not a morality play? Which of the following is not a morality play? Which of the following is not a morality play? इनमें से कौन सा morality play नहीं है? Every Man is a morality play, right? Castle of Perseverance is a morality play. Pride of Life, is it a morality play or not? It is a morality play. Mr. Good Deeds is not a morality play. ठीक है? Mr. Good Deeds is not a morality play. Morality play जो आपका virtue and vices को depict कर रहा है, and we are able to see that all of these, right? All of these are there, but Mr. Good Deeds is not. Okay, so please remember the morality play Every Man was influenced by a play written in. So this particular play that is coming in your Elker direct, this is a play which is originally written in. This is a play which is originally written in. ये play originally कहाँ पर? This is a very famous play that you are able to see. It is attributed to Peter Van Diest. ये बोला जाता है कि इनका है. What is it in? What is it in? No, Nayana. Very good. Supratim has got it right. This is the Dutch play. Supratim has got it right. Supratim has got it right. Very good. Very nice. By the way, Supratim has also cracked his net. Many congratulations, Supratim. I think I couldn't send that particular. काफी सारे बच्चों का ना, I'm so sorry. जो बहुत बाद में अभी आ रहे हैं ना, मैं उनका कोलेट करके दे नहीं पा रही हूँ. I'm so sorry. I collected. But very impressive. Good job done. And of course, you're 200% going to be getting JRF. Okay. So every man आपका morality play है, right? It's influenced by the Dutch play Elgar Zek that you are able to see, attributed to Peter Van Diest that you are able to look at. Okay. So plays of course very famous. Altogether, it won the Antwerp drama competition also. Okay. In Henry the Fourth Part 1, Prince Hal and Sir John Falstaff, they meet at, where are they meeting? Where are they meeting? What is the meeting point? Good job, Dance Pratim. Very proud of you. Yes, where are they meeting? Where are they meeting? Where are they meeting? Every time I want to congratulate you and then something or the other. And what happens is I usually take a screenshot and then that screenshot goes, I don't know, somewhere else. So I'm really sorry about that. I think Pallavi, Trikha and do-teen और जो बच्चे हैं, many congratulations to all of you also. I forgot to congratulate a couple of you. Right, absolutely right, absolutely right. Boar's head in is the correct answer. Boar's head in is the right answer. Abhi bhi we were talking about how pipe dreams are getting made in which work, which play that we were talking about in the foundation batch. So here, Boar's Head in East Cheap, London, is the meeting place of both Sir John Falstaff and Prince Hal. The landlady, Mr. Quickly, in the play is a vivacious lady who accuses Falstaff of not repaying his debt. अभी आया था ना हाल ही में इन शॉर्ट्स के अंदर भी वो आया था कि how this woman was staying in a in the Aerocity Hotel in Delhi. We had only 41 rupees in her bank and almost made an expenditure. Andhra woman made an expenditure of 6 lakh rupees. That's crazy. Prince Hal frequented the place not only to meet his friend but also to get to know about the subject, right? तो ये आप थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखिएगा. In the Shakespearean play Othello, Iago is resentful of whose promotion in the army? Iago is resentful of whose promotion in the army? He is resentful of whose promotion in the army? किसका promotion in the army? He is actually resentful. इसका promotion in the army, he is actually resentful. He is resentful of the promotion that is given to Cassio, right? That is given to Cassio. Cassio का जो promotion है, he is actually very unhappy. So Iago, motiveless malignity. Remember, motiveless malignity. He doesn't have any reason at all. That is what you are able to see. Okay, so he wants to of course take revenge also because of this. Last question for today. A collection of elegies written by Ovid is entitled. A collection of elegies written by Ovid is entitled what? It is entitled what? What is it entitled? What is it entitled? What is it entitled, everyone? It is entitled what? It is entitled Trestia. It is entitled Trestia, right? It is entitled Trestia altogether. Yes, Devashish, absolutely right. So Ovid ka jo elegy hai, Trestia meaning sorrow, 5 volumes of poetry that you are able to see. So overall, in the course of 2 days, that is your 30th and 31st, right? Both across your master classes, right? Both across your master classes as well as on YouTube. We've actually looked at 99 questions. Some लोग, these were of course icebreaker questions. We'll specifically also be looking at your recent exams जो आपके गए हैं, जैसे West Bengal SET exam हो गया, या फिर आपका even your NET December 2023 exam, उसको भी हम लोग अच्छी तरह से देखेंगे. I will share the schedule with all of you. Like I said, I will be sharing the schedule as next steps. We are entering a new month. It's almost a very critical month because अब आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, और अब अगर आपने start नहीं किया 1st of Feb से, so panic button start हो जाएगा, because Feb as it holidays is one of the shortest months that we are having, right? And for a lot of working professionals, for a lot of people who are working professionals, you will see that जैसे हिमांशु हो गए, काफी सारे और बच्चे हो गए, ये काफी हेक्टिक पीरियड भी रहता है वर्क के हिसाब से, राइट? सो प्लीज इंश्योर कीजिएगा, फेब हो गया आपका, अब मार्च आ जाएगा सडनली, और अप्रैल में तो वैसे ही आपका पैनिक बटन स्टार्ट हो जाता है. सो प्लीज इंश्योर कीजिए दैट ऑल ऑफ यू आर बीइंग वेरी proactive. Make sure that you have a very disciplined study schedule. It's very important to be absolutely disciplined at this particular juncture, क्योंकि अगर आप disciplined नहीं होंगे, एक study schedule को follow नहीं करेंगे, if you are not going to be revising and reviewing everything that is done, right, it will be very difficult, right? So I want all of you to be absolutely disciplined, regular. Do let us know if you need any support. You can always let me know about it. जैसे HP set है तो वो हम लोग कुछ कुछ questions करेंगे कल और परसों भी. So please do let me know on neerja.raheja.faculty@testbook.com, right? faculty@testbook.com. Testbook.com, right? You please let me know about it, but you will have to definitely make sure that you're absolutely disciplined right now, because it's literally now or never, क्योंकि अब बिल्कुल टाइम ऐसे चलता रहेगा. So be a little careful about it. Fine. Thanks Fatima, thanks Debashish, thanks Naina, Sahil, Supratim, Shabnam. Thank you so much everyone for joining. Really appreciate that. I'll catch up with all of you tomorrow, और कल मैं आपको आपके February master class का schedule भी दे दूंगी. Fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Take good care of yourselves. Good night, sweet dreams. Don't forget to, write your manifestations also. All right. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Take good care of yourselves. So, House of Spirits, Isabel Elende, बाकी सारे questions भी जो हम लोगों ने करे हैं उनको अच्छी तरह से एक बार देख लीजिएगा. Okay. Thanks. Bye.